Yo, what's going on? It is your boy, Indy Uchiha, and we are back. We are back. The final season of The Flash, Season 9, Episode 7, Wildest Dreams. This, this is the crossover episode with Supergirl, which brings Nia Dreamer over to have a whole episode long adventure with Iris. I'm gonna just let that sink in for a second. Don't worry, I'll wait. You guys probably know exactly how I feel about this. If you ever watched a review on this channel right here, you probably know exactly how I feel about this episode. Here we go. All right, the thing that I really don't like about this is I feel like the crossovers, the cameo episodes are being wasted. They feel more like fillers than anything that's progressing the story along. This episode in its own was more about getting Iris past um her regrets, or you know what I'm saying, her stoppages about how she feels about knowing what the future brings. She ends up coming to the article that she sees that is actually going to win her the Pulitzer. It's an article about Red Death. So she really feels like her life is being controlled. They went from Norris coming early, maybe this isn't on track like it said it was going to be, to look, Pulitzer Prize is right back on. I feel like I'm not in control of my own life, like you know what I'm saying. But the whole episode revolved around really her and Nia dealing with their issues. Nia not understanding that her search for power to become stronger uh necessarily isn't the right way, you know what I'm saying, come about it, that she needs to let go and you know what I'm saying, let emotions, let feelings, let everything else take control, and it will come to her in time. It was kind of like a correlation of what was going on with Iris, because even though uh she feels like everything's mapped out, by the end of the episode was pretty interesting. This is the one part that I did like about it, because it came to a point where she understood that yes, all this stuff is mapped out for it to happen for her, right? But all the actions that she took prior, journalism school, writing, going through everything she wanted to do, is what has her at this point now. So all the work she put in, even though that she knows what the end game is going to be, all the work that she put in is the reason why she's able to have the success that she's going to have in the future. So it was from her not giving up doing what she was going to do, which was cool. Basically, what happens in this episode is that Dreamer is having a dream about Iris where she thinks that she dies. She comes to Central City. She has a conversation with Iris. She ends up getting trapped in this dream world by this being that looks like a ghost with a robe on with glowy eyes, right? But Cecile later on feels that the ghost isn't trying to hurt them or nothing like that, or this being is trying to hurt them, that it cares. So they're like in this dream state where they're running these fevers. I mean, like fevers to the point like 105.3 or something like that, to where it's life risking. Where it's almost like a I forget what those things called, where you sit down and you take the drug, and you're trying to you're trying to figure out where you're supposed to be or how you're supposed to be or whatever like that. But they're on one of those, like one of them dream missions to figure out where they need to be. Iris is going through a bunch of different jobs, being a cop, running a coffee shop, different things to see, because she wants to be far away from letting her feeling like the future is dictating where her life's supposed to be. So she's putting herself in positions where she normally wouldn't have chose. So everything that happens is new to her. So she's still dealing with that. I don't know why she's still dealing with that. I don't know why we take a full episode to resolve that. It's 7 episodes. I think we only get 13 this season, so we only got 6 left. And this is what we do. This is what we do. Eric Wallace. This is what we do. I honestly don't know how I feel about this. Like Iris's hair looked dope. Like I really love their hair. I feel like the cameo of Dream was wasted. To be totally honest, what was going on with Khione and Mark, with him thrashing out at her because she's not like Frost, and that she's her own person was more interesting to me than what was going on with Dreamer and Iris. Another episode where they took the Flash and they put him in the background in order to try to close a 9-season story with Iris. This is not the character that I want the closure with. We know what Iris ends up doing. We've seen the future. We have all these. If you're going to take an episode, I feel like in order to close out storylines of characters or develop characters to closure, we have a whole slew of Team Flash that you could actually be rocking with. You know what I'm saying? Even Mark ends up apologizing to Khione and says he has to go away to deal because he hasn't really dealt with the pain of losing Frost, so he needs to be alone to be able to do that. So we're writing Mark off. I'm not getting what we're trying to accomplish with a final season. Nothing to me, it feels like we're getting the finality that we need. Nothing to me is feeling epic enough to feel like this season is going to be memorable. You know what I'm saying? Memorable. I'm waiting on Stephen Amell basically by now. This is what I'm doing. I'm sitting my butt down every week, waiting on Stephen Amell to show up, waiting on Oliver Queen, because what they're doing, I don't like. And I'm a diehard fighter for this Flash. I stand up and I tote this Flash flag. But this episode, it took me over the edge, man. I don't know how anybody else feels. I mean, I guess the writing was good. I guess the way they developed the story and the way they did it was interesting. But at this time, season 9, episode 7, I don't feel like this was the time for that at all. It irritated me. It was really hard to get through this episode. I think I stopped, watched Power Book 2, episode 3, then came back because I needed some good story to make it through this. And this has, and regardless how you feel, this has nothing to do with my hate for the Iris character, because to be honest with you, the best thing about this episode was the way that Candace Patton was playing that character, because she played that character to the T of what that character has been. And she does that well. I just feel like they don't have a grasp on what Iris was supposed to develop into, and they fail her as an actress by what they give her to portray on screen. You know what I'm saying? And a failed, wasted cameo. The Red Death thing, you know what I'm saying? And the Batwoman cameo, the 5-second Batwoman cameo was better than this, man. I'm just sitting around waiting for Oliver Queen. This episode did a lot to do that, so maybe they can finally move forward and Iris can get down with what she needs to do and all the stuff and go, so we can move forward in the storyline and get to where we need to get to this next big bad or whatever's going to happen. Because in the end, I think it's Flash getting trapped in the Speed Force and disappearing. Can we get to whatever's going to make that happen? Go ahead and bring back Reverse Flash. Do whatever we got to do to make these last 6 episodes mean something to save this season, man. I'm just not feeling this for a final season. I don't know what else to say about it, man. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us everywhere at A+ Opinions, at A+ Hero Report on all social media. You can follow me at Nerd Mix Alpha on Twitter, at Nerd Mix Music on Instagram, and stay tuned for new music coming. You guys can search Indie Uchiha. I am on all streaming platforms. We got to do better. We got to do better. Straight up. In your wildest dreams, you thought this episode was dope. Keep it A+. Indie out.